Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod in a 40 unit save version, and we're playing as the Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And we've started the move. We took this army out of Austria last time, and we are marching towards East Prussia. That is our goal, to declare war and start battle over here this episode. So let's make sure we make that happen. There's only one thing I wanted to look at, and that is the rake over in this section. We have a couple remnant armies of the United Provinces over here, but we lost track to see if there's anything left here. We know the port's being blockaded by the Spanish. Thank you very much. Let's move back over here towards the capital of Westphalia. And we do not see. So this must be the army, the leftover of the army that had been there. And we can see they're seriously depleted right now based on how they started. So that's probably a good thing to know. We'll keep our rake right there. And the only other couple points I want to make is I made a comment last episode, and I kind of found out that's not necessarily the case anymore. When we went in here for our next area to research, I said, oh, we got much more in the way of weaving cottages and that kind of thing. So I used this as our research. What I failed to realize and take a close enough look at is, in the territories we've taken over, we have a significant iron workshop investment and many more mines than we had in our original territory. So it is equally valid and to be researching over here anymore, also to be able to upgrade here. So they're both extremely viable. So whether I focus in my home territories or in my conquered territories, they are both important. Not at this point enough that I feel like I need to make another school to get another guy or another school researching in this area, but that's just something to note. And finally, my income, with all the recruiting we've been doing, my projected income has plummeted drastically from close to 13,000 now down to 8,900. So it's probably just as well that we're making a move now on Prussia, because we'd only be able to go so long increasing our armies without increasing more of a tax base somewhere else to support our armies. So that's the only comment I had. Let's get on to the next turn. We'll see you on the other side. And looks like France is interested in a military alliance with us this time. They would grant us military access. Oh, no. I'm looking at the existing agreement from before. We have one turn remaining on that. They want us to give them animal husbandry for our military alliance. That's absolutely not a military alliance I want. The moment I declare war with Prussia, I do not believe they would join me. So I'm not going to give up a technology for that. So in this instance, I'm guessing that we will decline based on what I'm guessing their actions would be. I don't need a military alliance. All right, intellectual advance. We've finished physiocracy. It tells us they're going to move over to the wedge formation. I don't think that's where I want to go. Although I think we did not continue in that research because our one college hasn't been upgraded, so we probably can't. So we'll take a look at there as soon as we can. In fact, let's do it now. And so I'm guessing the reason, because our college is going to be finished in another turn probably. Then we'll have to come back over here. So we'll just keep this wedge formation being researched, remembering that's the one I didn't want in the first place over here, going for fire by rank anyway. I'll just have to remember a next turn, once our upgraded school is built, to come back over here and get researching in this area. Most importantly, probably division of labor at this time will do first, because it gives me some much needed upgrades that I can definitely use. So that is what we got going there, and that's why. Trait gained, what did we get? So this is a doctorate. No sir, I cannot cure your piles. I can, however, adequately describe them in Latin. So, let's go take a look at this agent. Oh, he's got a lot of stars now. He also picked up recently that Dusty Librarian, and he has a doctorate now. So this guy is And he's only 26. So I'm happy to have this guy around for a long time. And he can protect himself in duels. This guy's a winner. Bratumil. Welcome to the team. Recruitment report, yeah, we have quite a hefty bit of recruits coming in. I think my income, yeah, we just lost another 1,000 in income just from the military upkeep that we're going to have. So I think this round we're not going to focus on the military at all. We are having some construction hit at least, and I'm kind of thinking this may be the turn to do some infrastructure upgrades. Namely, I'm thinking here. Let's start looking at infrastructure. Let's go with the metalled roads here. I'm thinking anywhere that might be around where we're going to be doing battle. I definitely want to see about upgrading, even though it's not an instant upgrade. It takes 4 turns. But after we finish over here, it'll give us some ways and options to possibly move a little faster out of that territory. So let's peek over here also. And that used up all our funds. We are upgrading our roads this turn. That is exactly what we're doing. Alright, so that army's a little more securely upgraded. And we've got this army looking decent-ish. Now the big goal is let's get this army. How far forward can we move with this army? Well, pretty dang far. We now have 2 armies available around Warsaw. We'll have to see distance-wise however far we can travel. We'll probably bring the army up to this fort next, and then maybe move the army in Warsaw up to the border. They're pretty near the border, and then we'll declare war. That's probably how I envision it working, barring any great surprises on us. In fact, let's just take a look at our rakes, both north and south. I did notice this army seemed to come out of the port, so we're going to move back towards Istanbul. Right now, they're pretty much doing their own surveying of their lands, going back and forth, making sure they have no surprises. Well, we're going to do the same. And up here in Westphalia, we have no change by those armies, although this army came back over from the iron workshops, working on the weaver's cottage. It's just deteriorated from a significant battle force into just a raiding force. It's just going from spot to spot to spot raiding now, so we'll keep that rake there. And that confirms my opinion that we do not have to worry about United Provinces. So I think at this point, I don't think there's anything else we need to do at this point. Let's get ahead. I just want to peek at that one college. I think it's only 1 turn. Which one are we upgrading? I can't even remember. This one. Yeah, it's only 1 more turn, so we'll have to remember to go back into our research next turn to upgrade there. And we're going to take our next turn already. Real quick turn. Let's get going. Alrighty, alliance has been broken between France and Sweden. Duly noted. We've advanced. We've completed the spinning jenny, so that's good news. Trade agreement has been canceled. This nation has pulled out of the carefully brokered trade agreement between us. So I'm wondering if something has happened to their trade port. That's probably most likely what is preventing them from trading with us. So we'll try to reestablish that. We'll keep our eye on their trading port up here. We can see it burning, as a matter of fact, right here. So I'm sure that's why the trade agreement was canceled. Take a look at everything else. Our construction report, we got our college upgraded. The government building in Minsk is also upgraded. Let's come down here before I forget. We want to take Dinaburg. That's where we were getting the research here done over here. So we're going to come up here and do division of labor next with that school. Get them back on their strength, what they're used to researching over here. And schools all are covered. We seem to be in good shape that way. War has been declared between Great Britain and France. So Sweden declined to come to the aid of France, their ally, hence the broken treaty there. But that'll be interesting to keep our eyes on. To keep those two great powers occupied, which is fine by me because I'm about to declare war on Prussia. I didn't want to have to worry about France or Great Britain. We'll have to check the allyship real quick because if we are going to declare war on Prussia, they're allies with United Provinces already at war and Great Britain. So hopefully now with Great Britain occupied, Hanover is a minor concern, but it could become an issue if they move inconveniently. But Great Britain, we hopefully will not join the alliance with Prussia, being in war themselves. We can cross our fingers. A nation has been destroyed, Genoa. Yes, we did notice France has been quite busy down here in northern Italy. About all that's left now, well, I guess the Italian states are next if they continue that quest, but I don't recall if they're already at war with Spain or not, but there you go. They've taken the easy targets down here in northern Italy. We've gained an ancillary. It is a barber. I don't know who has the barber. Looks like one of our lowers morale in battles, unfortunately, but one of our armies has a barber. The general has a barber. Let's go find out which one. Can we? No barber there. Yeah, you've been sitting in the city too long, but we're gonna resolve that now by getting you moved. You're just getting too comfortable kicking back in Warsaw. And we have a little history here again. If you want to take a look at it, feel free to pause and read the history. Now, the only thing I realized, since I'm going to make 3 armies, this force over here technically does not have a general. So I'm going to take one of, and there's no advanced unit at all. I'm going to take one of these, choose one of them, and recruit a general. So at least all my armies have a general. We can work on gaining ancillaries and gaining power and issues that way. So we would technically not be able to move in here far enough. It doesn't look like it'd be cutting it close if I declared war from here. That's why I've decided to move up to this fort. So I know we will be able to advance and attack. And the Warsaw army is going to move to the border here, so I know they will be able to reach our target over here. So we'll have these forces be able to move against this army next turn when we declare war. And then we will also move this force in once we declare war to see if we can situate ourselves in such a way to maybe blockade reinforcements. I don't know. We'll just see how that works out. And in a way, I kind of do want reinforcements, but we're going to try and position ourselves in such a spot that we might be able to also reinforce this battle at the same time, maybe blocking this unit in here. But anyway, we got to get our battle going soon because I am seeing each turn like one unit coming out of Königsberg and reinforcing over here. So this stack is growing, even though slowly and little by little, it's still growing. Let's take a look and see if we have some... Well, we finished the spinning jenny. That's another thing I need to look at before we start thinking about our battles some more. And where has he moved? He moved over to the we've moved over to the flying shuttle. We can't do this until Division of Labor is done, which we are researching right now. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually with this school. Let's go find out where it is. Right here, Kraków. I think we're going to do and upgrade the basic steam pump next, because it does improve the wealth generated by mines, and we have quite a few now in our conquered territories, so I think it's worthwhile to pop over here on this one. And it's only a 2-turn research. Okay, our income right now sitting around sitting around 7,000. Now I gotta figure out where I want to see about upgrading, and I think this is one. Oh no, we already did that one. Do we want to upgrade another? I'm gonna hold off on ordnance kind of upgrades yet. I'll do one school just so we keep that progress going, and then we'll see what other infrastructure buildings we can increase. And the government chambers over in Minsk, that will use up my funds while at the same time upgrading us nicely. So that's what we're going to do. And this turn should be done. We're just going to take a look at our 2 rakes real quick, make sure there's no surprises off in the distance for us to take a look at. They continue their raiding behind lines. I'm going to stay. I'm going to actually take a peek over at the port over here for United Provinces. Still being beaten up like you wouldn't believe, both by land and by sea. Poor United Provinces. Oh man. And it looks like the army down here is just kind of going, they kind of don't know what to do. They're pacing is what it would appear. Let's see if they're back in the port. Yep, they're back in the port. So they're just kind of doing a holding pattern back and forth over here. So guess what? I think we're going to be ready to declare here coming up. I think it's just a matter of taking our next turn now, and then we will pounce on Prussia, provided something weird that I haven't predicted happens. So let's get to the other side of this turn so we can make the fun begin. All right, someone would like to trade for some technology, and it's with Sweden. And I think we're on a freeze trading with Sweden, although I would like the income. It's not vital that I have that extra income right now. We'll remember we have some ability to trade things if we get a little shy in income. For now, I do not want to trade with Sweden. Okay, we had an ally attacked. The aggressor is Hanover, and our ally is Saxony. That is our protectorate. So it looks like, well, we're going to war with Hanover, and we risk being dragged into war with a lot of others right now. Let's hope the only one that comes to their aid is Prussia, and I do not want to also be at war with Great Britain. Here we go. Peace treaty with the Barbary States has been offered, and to be quite honest, I'm going to take it. That'll make it easier once I build up a fleet to get the fleet out on the seas without having to worry about being raided by the Barbary States. I see no reason to be at war with them right now. Okay, we've hired a new rake, so maybe now is the time, because I feel like I have enough rakes out there to keep an eye on things I want to keep an eye on at the moment. So let's see, where is he? Galicia and Podolia. So we'll take a look at him soon enough to get him moving. Figure out where we want him. The sextant has been researched, and we will see it reduces reloading time for our naval cannon. Peace treaty has been signed by the Barbary States. We know that. We just did it. And the only thing that happened mid-turn is we went to the aid of our ally, but I guess no other sides joined because I got no notice that we're at war with Prussia now. I got no notice about Great Britain or anyone else, so I just kind of want to touch in there. And yeah, United Provinces, so I should only be at war with Hanover right now. So the only bad thing with that is I was liking the fact, and I'm a little... Whichever one ended up declaring war, I think Hanover declared war on Saxony, so I can't get mad at my protectorate. I'm very upset that my protectorate has moved its army out of its city, meaning that when we go to war with Prussia, Prussia has itself a target down here now that it can easily, with this stack, take over, and that will cause me some problems. Because here in my underbelly, at least I did some recruiting over here in Vienna. I'm going to have to do, rather than focus on income, I'm going to have to recruit back here in Vienna, because if they get a little too sassy and a little too aggressive once we're at war coming down here against my protectorate, we're going to have something to counter them until we finish up in East Prussia. So much for only having 3 armies. We're in the process now of starting our 4th. So anyway, here's the big moment, guys. Here is the big moment. This is when we come in here looking at Prussia. excuse me, this is where we come in here looking at Prussia. How easily I get sidetracked. There it is. Oh, it's already highlighted. What do you know? Its allies are Great Britain. We're going to find out when we declare war. If something weird happens with Great Britain, cross your fingers that it does not. Or if it does, that they are totally sidetracked at the moment with France. So let's declare war. Boom. And these are the allies that are all going to be called upon. I'm gonna call. I'm not. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to call my allies to help. I don't think Russia's going to do. They're busy with Sweden. Poland would probably be the one that would help me. But if I could pick and choose which allies I wanted, I would. And Saxony is already at war with Hanover. I don't want Prussia to go to war with Saxony. So I'm not therefore going to call my allies to help and count on the fact that I can deal with this by myself. We're going to hope. Okay, alliance has been broken with Great Britain. Now, I was counting on that. Great Britain in any game I play is not a reliable ally. That's just the way it works in this game. Hanover has joined the war. I'm not surprised about that, but we already have our protectorate dealing with them. So we got a little bit of time before they become a potential problem. And at the moment, because Prussia will not be at war with Saxony, in fact, they're still trade partners, I don't have to worry about building my army yet in Vienna. I can still maybe work on some infrastructure upgrades. So we are at war with Prussia, guys. We made it happen. It's a go. Let's just finish looking at our construction report. Another nation destroyed, Westphalia. And I noticed that happen, and it wasn't the United Provinces that took them out. I'm curious to find out who the heck moved in on them. A surprise by me, or to me. I was not aware. I didn't pay attention that they were at war with more than that. No, United Provinces did. They must have moved their other army that had been near their home base, because I don't think that little raiding force was enough to be able to do it. So I didn't notice them move that army down. Maybe they moved it around and it was out of sight of my rake. Interesting. So United Provinces got rid of a thorn in their side. Yeah, they moved their army down from here, that's for sure. That's how they did it. So now it's all of a sudden very important that we keep our eye there. Hopefully we can deal with Prussia before United Provinces turns their eye towards us. Let's hope Spain in their backyard over here helps keep them still a little bit distracted. Maybe they got to go against Flanders. Wouldn't that be nice if they're distracted over there while we work on Prussia? In an ideal world, this game does not always is not always an ideal game. I'll tell you that. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can move this army all the way around to take up this farm. It'll cause some damage that if we do end up taking over the territory, we may end up having to fix. But I like this position for that army. I do not mind keeping Gdansk open. There's a chance they will march on Gdansk to help reinforce the situation over here. We don't know for sure. But I'd rather retake Gdansk without the fort than and try to knock this stuff out before they can be reinforced. So let's see if we can move our army over to the farmlands here. And they are not intercepted here. We're not quite in range to reinforce, so I may move them a little farther forward. Let's see, this army will be able to make it there, and this army will be able to make it there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to move a little farther afield. Uh-oh. I moved a step too far, and the reason that was too far is because now he's willing to come out and attack me because he gets reinforced over here. So I'm going to have to retreat. This is too much for me to take on right now with just this insignificant army. So I made a miscalculation. We are going to retreat. What I am going to count on, though, is that these two armies, whether they are reinforced or not, will be up to the challenge here. We're going to bring this army over to the border of the reinforcement zone. And then we're going to bring this army over to wage war against Alexander Dudona Slobitten. Okay, let's go. Yeah, and then we got ourselves one hell of a big battle here. The reinforcing army has some artillery, but overall it's not, doesn't include the garrison, so the battle is slightly in our advantage. The problem is they could be reinforcing right behind our lines, and so our own reinforcing army may have to come in and provide a buffer as we move against this one here. The army that we're going to be facing off against, we outnumber. They outgun us with artillery, but we outnumber them in men 7,000 to 4,000. Reinforcement wise, we outnumber their reinforcements also. So our reinforcements we may have to set up as a shielding army, and this army may just have to be counted on to take out this force by itself. So that's my initial assessment. Let's go find out exactly what's going to happen. We'll see you down on the battlefield. Well, it's a wide open battlefield here in the snow. That's for dang sure. So I'm kind of thinking we may get reinforcements very close behind us. And with that in mind, I'm probably going to keep all my cavalry to the rear, because more than likely their reinforcements will arrive cavalry first. Based on how the map started, our reinforcements may be coming off to the flank, so I may not be able to move right away against that. We're going to keep all our cannon forward. But anyway, let me set up. I'm going to split up my cannon just because I think that's worthwhile to do at this point. I'll finish my setup, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look. Okay, here's the setup with our army facing towards our initial contact right here. We've split up our artillery to two different points on the line, so they all can't be taken out by some suicidal cavalry charge, which does sometimes happen. We have pikemen to back both them up, so if I do in time identify a charge toward my artillery, we can respond with our pikemen. We kept a lone cavalry unit on each wing just in case they do counter with our cavalry. We have at least a slight counter to that. Otherwise, it's line infantry spread out all along with 2 regiments in reserve here, 2 regiments in reserve here, general in the center, pikemen backing up the artillery. And then, just because I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to get reinforced behind our lines, I took one line infantry division in square formation, because quite often the reinforcements come in cavalry first. Have pikemen off to the side here, once again, hopefully ready in case it's cavalry. And then I have 4 regiments of cavalry in the back. So I think I have more than enough here to stunt their advance should they get reinforced right behind us. And then we'll get our own reinforcements on one of the wings over here, who knows exactly where. And hopefully we can take care of things that way. So I'm just going to let my cannon initially fire on their own and pick their own targets. They usually do go for the enemy artillery right at the start of a battle when you don't pick something. We'll count on them doing that, and then we're going to keep our eyes actually to the rear so we can identify in case reinforcements come in here right away. Otherwise, we'll keep our eye on the radar to try and identify where their reinforcements are coming in. So let's get this thing going. And they are coming in behind us off to this side. So we are going to advance with our pikemen over here. We're going to bring our cavalry off also. Get ready to react. And we're going to bring our other unit of pikemen over in this direction. Try to box them in as much as possible. That's a general's bodyguard. We're going to take our cavalry on this wing to go against their general's unit. And we're going to bring another unit of cavalry over here. And what we do have is, yes, we have some regiment of horse, just as we kind of expected. Let's bring our pikemen over there. And we'll see about reinforcing. Oh, he's rear charging us, so we better get moving, guys. The general's bodyguard is smart. Turn around the pikemen. quickly because you're getting rear charged, unfortunately. And it looks like he's carrying through to our artillery, which is a bad thing. Fortunately, it's my smallest regiment of artillery. So Regiment of Horse is in the front line, and they're charging over here too, and I did not change the canister, but that'll work. That'll be okay. We're going to change the square formation here. We're going to bring our pikemen over here. So they, my attention was in the rear, and unfortunately, what have we got here? We've also got a Regiment of Horse here. So they did a great job as the enemy. And what have we got here? Another Regiment of Horse. Let's go in there with our own Regiment of Horse. And we're going to start taking them on as best we can as they reinforce. Now that I think we have our line under control. Unfortunately, we lost some demi-cannons. We're going to have to find out if we have any working cannons still. And we may. We'll face these guys forward. See if we can't recover. We got 4 guns left. We just lost individuals, so we did save ourselves here. And our cannon over here are saved. So their big surprise did not wipe us out. Let's go back into line here and let's focus on their reinforcements. Now it looks like our own reinforcements, I don't see anything green appearing on the side. So for whatever reason, I'm not seeing our own reinforcements. It looks like we charged down there. Let's bring some cavalry back. And where do we want to focus our fire? Well, we don't have any good place to focus our fire. They're trying to bombard us in the rear against dealing. We're going to bring these guys out of square formation and bring them over here. Now we're into line infantry. Now we're going to come at them with melee. Bring our other pike units over here, our other cavalry units over here, because we also, behind that line infantry, have their artillery pieces. And we're going to see if we can come in off to the side here. We got to make a big mess of their reinforcing here is what we got to do. Then we got militia coming in, so I have no problem charging in my cavalry at the moment to go against their artillery. And we caught their point of reinforcement, so that's a good thing. And right now the rest of this army is still out here. We got something happening over here on the wings. Where is this? Okay, we got some provincial cavalry, but they're dealing with our own cavalry right now. We'll take this unit, put them in square formation just in case the worst case happens over here while I'm distracted. And we got ourselves a bit of a melee thing going on over here with cavalry. But it looks like we've taken out a big chunk of their artillery. So let's withdraw this cavalry unit. We can kind of set them up over here, I guess, for the moment. I wouldn't mind having one other cavalry unit, and since their regiment of horse from back here doesn't seem existent anymore, we're going to bring another cavalry unit over here for side charges. We're going to bring our unit of pikemen even closer here, because we're going to start faltering our initial pikemen a little bit. Regiment of horse is really weak. We need to withdraw them. Do we have any other regiments of horse? Yes, we do. We'll bring them over here to be able to potentially do a side charge. And now we're going to set up our own infantry to pepper them with fire. And what we're going to do is side charge. Try to disrupt them. Cause disarray. As our pikemen hold them in position. some wavering going on. Let's come in with a side charge over here now. Let's pull our cavalry back since more reinforcements are coming in. Get them to waver, 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 waver. And on the radar, looks like they're slowly angling or looking to advance, but nothing yet. Let's get them ready to charge again. And we are now going to hold our pikemen off to the side. Let's see if we can run them, so we can pepper them with musket fire and not take shots in our back. Can we hold on for a moment, guys? Now we need to start again, though. Pull back, pikemen. Pull back, pikemen. You've done your job. We got dragoons coming in. We are going to pounce on them with our cavalry as soon as we're able to. We got more dragoons coming in. They got lots of line infantry coming in. And of course, we're fading here now, so we need to bring some more pikemen back now that their cavalry is less of an issue. We need some reinforcements back here is what we need. We're going to be overwhelmed very quickly. Let's see, do we have cavalry over here? Yes, their cavalry threat seems to be open. Let's bring our cavalry back. And we're going to bring our depth of our line in reverse because they're still a long distance away. And we're going to come at a run to try and get set up as a second line of defense, because I don't know how long we can hold out. We're battling dragoons all over the place. And this line is about to fold. Let's run our pikemen in to try and offer a little support here, because our poor regiment, a 30th Regiment of Foot, is collapsing as we try bringing the reserves up. Will they get there in time? Pikemen, see if you can hold the line over here. Our cavalry are totally engaged right now with their dragoons. I'm going to pull this one back because he'll start getting into melee with the ground forces. We'll bring our pikemen in against the dragoons. And we're getting bombarded by their own artillery way back here. That's crazy. Okay, these dragoons are holding up well against us. Down to 93, they're holding up very well. It's our provincial cavalry that's not holding up as well. But now we got our reinforcements here. Let's pull back our own pikemen, because they're going to wither under friendly fire. And time to do some charges in on this line as they get shot to pieces. Charge into these guys here. They're wavering a little. Let's break them. Okay, now let's continue over here. What have we got back here? We got pikemen that have reformed. Let's bring them back into the battle. Let's pull our cavalry again, so we don't take too much friendly fire. In fact, we'll pull our cavalry back here. And we'll see about having our shots focus on this line infantry here. And still, their main line off in the distance is not enclosed on us yet. I'm relying on my AI-controlled artillery to focus enough on the proper targets that we need them to. We got their dragoons cornered and breaking a little bit. Looks like we did lose our provincial cavalry in that fight in the back, but our stronger regiment of horse are coming to bear. Okay, that pikeman unit needs to stop. We need to move forward with our own line infantry ahead of them and have them in the back against a charge. And we finally have their dragoons fell. We're going to have our cavalry go against these guys because any of these units that escape technically are going back to Königsberg, and we do not want that as much as, well, it's going to happen, but we want to weaken them as much as possible because that'll be that many less that will be able to aid in the defense of Königsberg. And the reinforcement flow sure appears to be done, doesn't it now? That may be it. And that may allow us to focus forward. Our lines have held. They were not busily advancing. The only bad thing is, let's take a look at where their artillery is and see if we can bring any fire to bear on their own artillery, which is very entrenched. So it's time for us to think about reorienting ourselves forward. So we have 2 regiment of foot that we're going to keep in reserve, back where they were in reserve. We're going to bring our pikemen back up to our cannon. In fact, we're going to bring both pikemen since they're greatly reduced. Just protectorate of our cannon. And we have a little bit of provincial cavalry to bring back on the wings. Their cavalry seems to be gone. Let's get out of square formation. Should not be needed anymore. And we are about to advance to work on their artillery that is well entrenched. The question is, with that well entrenched artillery, are they separated from the rest of their line infantry? Not a whole heck of a lot. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start advancing up to the side because the one benefit we have as we move forward with our line infantry here is that artillery will not be able to pivot that much against us. So we're gonna start taking some flanking moves over here. As a matter of fact, with our regiment line reserves, we're going to send them over too, even though they've been in seen their fair share of battle already. We're gonna start coming over here. Whoops. Let's re-highlight. We're going to come over here and start working on a flanking maneuver to the side of their artillery, and we're going to see if we can't pull off the same thing over on this side. Which means we have line infantry here, here, which we're going to bring off to the flanks over here for starters. And we'll reinforce them with a greatly depleted cavalry right now, but at least we'll have a little bit of reserve. We'll just keep our own artillery trying to pepper them. We got them down to 10 men, so we've almost knocked out their fighting force. These cavalry units will then support this flank, and we're kind of keeping a presence in the front so they do not play too many games with their own line. And that's what we're hoping for. Because if we come off enough to the side, they only can shoot so far off to the flank, and that's my hope. Since they decided to be difficult for our straightaway shots, which are not doing a ton of damage, they have some damage, but most of their cannon are still available for fire. And if you look at my cannon, we're only missing one gun, but the threat here, or the danger here, is the number of men I have left to operate and fire those cannon. Same thing over here, 16 for the 4. Let's run you so you don't get shot in the back. Unfortunately, the AI doesn't quite know enough not to shoot its own troops in the back, and we'll continue repositioning. Now, once that repositioning happens, we'll come back and get moving. And it has their line not knowing exactly what to do. They're reshuffling yet again based on my movements. And if I need to, I can always peel away regiments on the wings to help support, depending on how these flanking maneuvers go. Okay, so our cavalry over here is done. Let's get them over in this direction also. Okay, these units are almost in position, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run them over here. Take up a position on their flank. And we'll continue these guys marching over here. Bring our cavalry a little farther forward. And we're starting our flank attack rapidly over here. Bring this one regiment here just to provide a different angle of fire, and we'll keep this last one in reserve to maneuver, figure out what to do next. Now we got to get this flank going. We'll take our first 3 units up here, start coming through the city, and it looks like I also chose the cavalry to join them. That's fine. Let's have the cavalry hang back. We'll adjust that a little bit. Oh wait, do they have defenses? Yeah, we got to avoid these with our cavalry like the plague, or we'll get torn to pieces. Let's get the rest of our cavalry off in that direction. And this most weakened unit will be our reserve. And we'll start approaching over on this flank too. Looks like most of their firepower is coming against us over here. And I think I'm going to, at the moment, extend my line this way. That leaves no reserve units, but I think this will pay off for us. Let's run into position. Because we've got fire coming at them from essentially 2 directions, which is to our advantage. We're going to get this first cavalry unit positioned between the cavalry barriers here. Is there any others over here that we need to be aware of? We have one right here we're going to have to try to avoid. So my other cavalry units, see, with that in mind and seeing that, I'm going to set them up right here. So we can try running through here to make a path through here to get to their artillery once we start that charge. And we are close enough now where I'm interested in running and getting in our positions over here. We're also already having an impact with our setup over on their flank. And these units are active and fresh. So pretty soon, when we get up to about here, I'm going to run them the rest of their distance also. And we're going to see if we can't advance just a little further. Start bringing pressure on this side of the line at the same time. The general is not reacting well to our presence, so we're going to keep the pressure on. We're going to keep advancing at a run. We're going to have these guys now move forward also with their new orders. And this time, we're going to make them run. Because now we have the pressure at both wings. And with that in mind, we're going to start keeping pressure on their front. We're going to start bringing some units forward here, and we're going to start bringing some regiments forward over here. And we're just about to the point. I'm going to bring my cavalry as close as we really can. We're about ready to start going after their cannon. They're taking some fire from this unit also over here, so that's going to apply pressure to them. But as long as they're in disarray here, I will have an opening to charge my cavalry in here. I'll stop my artillery bombardment. Or what I'll do is focus on their general now. How about that? In the distance. hurry up, guys. Hustle, hustle, hustle. I know you're tired now, but we got to keep you moving. We're going to actually bring the cavalry back here now to try and avoid these dangers so we can charge from the rear where we know it's clear. And with them moving around and not set, we can bring our first cavalry charge up the center. Get positioned with our next one. This unit is broken. So we're going to change our charge into the other artillery unit. And once we take out these artillery pieces, I'm going to feel a lot more confident. Got to watch for fire happening over here from the regiment of foot. I'm kind of feeling that we might need to withdraw. We've done a number over here on this unit. We're going to withdraw before this cavalry unit gets knocked out. We're going to try and tell them to withdraw. And it looks like our wing over here has held. It's driven off all opposition. So it's time to bring them forward and continue applying the pressure. And we are looking winded, so we're just going to go at a walk. This one is reforming, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. As a matter of fact, they're reforming. Let's charge with our cavalry that's been resting over there. Okay, who is in combat here? Line infantry. We do not want to be in combat, melee combat with line infantry right now. We've kind of got them in a little bit of a cauldron over here. Yes, we need to withdraw the cavalry. It looks like it was too late, not paying attention. And now we got pressure coming up the front. Let's go at a run, guys, because we're close and you guys have been sitting back resting. It looks like, has our cavalry made it over here? Did that cavalry charge happen? Yes, it did. In fact, what I'm going to do is kind of refocus. Oh, the general's bodyguard has come back. So we're going to go into melee over here with this regiment. Because all of a sudden with that general's bodyguard, although that is where he's getting bombarded, that's why he's not, he's wavering a bit, let's put it that way. And that's why. So our line infantry, the general's cavalry broke our provincial, it's only provincial cavalry, that's why they're not so strong. Now we're in melee combat with my units here. We vastly outnumber them. So I would like to think that we can hang on against the general's bodyguard. Oof. Let's come over here and provide some flanking fire. Bring this unit forward just a little bit at a run to provide another angle of fire here along with this unit. And let's reassess our line here right now. We got some line infantry that as we brought them up is now going to switch into melee combat. In fact, we're going to bring in some more melee combat on this line infantry from the backside, see if we can knock him out. I got multiple angles on their line. It's going to be hard for them to hold up. We got some retreating going on. We're going to start seeing about running them down with our cavalry as much as possible. I think now is the time to silence the artillery, but all they can do now effectively is have friendly fire against us. And their units are folding left and right. I have no more cavalry on this side to run them down. Our cavalry really got decimated. They did an important job against our reinforcements, but they also were greatly weakened by dealing with those reinforcements. We're going to bring this unit over at a run. Looks like our melee has ended over here with them shattered, so we're going to go out of melee formation and we're going to start advancing against these remnant artillery units and this regiment of line infantry. And we're going to push these guys forward. Here. So we only have a couple regiments hanging in there. The rest of my units are running units down at this point. Okay, they've exited. We have another unit we can work on. They're reforming back here. We don't have an answer to them yet, so we're going to have to keep pushing forward. Reorient against them and chase some more down where we can. So it looks like this cauldron is now over. Everybody's retreating there. Oof, they've reformed on this side, so we need to return and face them, and we'll bring some support over. Just militia, so they should not hold up long as we work on the rest of these retreating units over here with our cavalry, trying to run down as many of them as we can. So left on the battlefield, as far as a fighting force that's going against us, is this unit right here. How tired are we? Tired, winded, run. Okay, that unit just folded. So now it looks like it's going to be a matter of running everybody down. Yes, that is our victory. So I'll be right back as after I run down as many units as I can, and then we'll see how this battle turned out ultimately. All right, so it ended up being a close victory, but a victory just the same. Obviously there were a lot of units escaping. Let's go see how the map now looks. All right, so we lost 3,214 men to their 5,283. You know, that's why it was close. We lost a lot of men in this battle. It was a hard fought battle, but we were up against premium troops here, mostly line infantry, so the losses are expected to be a little bit higher. Fortunately, we came in with more men, so that is a good thing overall. So what has happened here is they have retreated out of East Prussia. So what we need to look at is we cannot, unfortunately, because we retreated this army, we should have just kept them in the farmland, and we'd have been able to pick them off right here, right now. What I'm going to do, if we have the movement, is we are going to siege on East Prussia immediately. And we're going to see if they surrender now. And they do, because all the defending forces evacuated. So we have conquered already, quicker than I expected, East Prussia. So at that point, this is how we're going to stop it. We're going to lick our wound, give myself some time to look around at the armies and what our situation is. And we'll come back next time to continue this push against Prussia. I hope you enjoyed today's battle. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't. You know all those lines. And this is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching, and I really do hope to see you next time.